Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss Act 2 Scene 8 of Merchant of Venice, which is written by William Shakespeare, which takes place at Venice, a street. So here I begin, and before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you haven't, then please do so and watch the video till end. So now let us start Act 2 Scene 8, where the focus is on Venice. These are the friends of Antonio, Salario and Solanio. So in some books it is Solanio and Salarino. So just try to follow the dialogues and try to figure out. I would like to suggest that you follow your school books, the books which are subscribed by the ICSE, because they are books printed by different publishers. Well, dialogue is the same. But there is a confusion regarding the names. So Salario and Solanio are discussing about Lorenzo. So Salario says, "Why man, I saw Bassanio under sail. With him is Graciano gone along, and in their ship I am sure Lorenzo is not." So Salario is confident that Lorenzo is not in the same ship in which Bassanio and Graciano have left for Belmont. So in Bassanio's ship, Graciano is there, but Lorenzo is not there. So why does this topic arise? Because Sherlock, once he realizes that his daughter Jessica has eloped, he comes to the conclusion that they must have eloped in Bassanio's ship and ran away and escaped. That is why these friends are discussing it. Solanio, the villain Jew, with outcries raised the Duke, who went with him to search Bassanio's ship. So what did Sherlock do? Here the villain Jew is referred to Sherlock. He went to the Jew and shouted. He went to the Duke and shouted so much in front of his house that the Duke woke up, and Sherlock demands that the Duke should go with him and get Bassanio's ship searched, because he is of the opinion that Lorenzo and Jessica have taken shelter in Bassanio's ship. Salario, he come too late. The ship was under sail, but there the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his armious Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke they were not with Bassanio in his ship. So the Duke searched the shore along with Sherlock very late. By that time, the ship had already started for Belmont, and the people there told that Jessica and Lorenzo were not there in that ship. Even some of them said that they were seen Jessica and Lorenzo in gondola, and Antonio also certified the Duke that these two lovers were not there in the ship of Bassanio. Solanio, I never heard a passion so confused, so strange, outrageous, and so variable as the dog Jew utter in the streets. So when Sherlock does not get hold of Lorenzo and Jessica, and he is naturally mad, as Jessica has not just eloped with the Christian, she has taken a bags full of ducats and also quite a few precious stones. So Sherlock is really mad. He was in a confused state and did not know what to do. So he kept on shouting throughout the street like a madman. I have never heard such violent outburst of anger, such mixed emotions. It was so strange, excessive, and changeable. As the Duke shouted in the street, "My daughter, oh my ducats, oh my daughter," fled with a Christian, "Oh my Christian ducats, justice, the law, my ducats and my daughter." A sealed bag, 2 sealed bags of ducats, of double ducats, stolen from me by my daughter, and jewels, 2 stones, 2 such and precious stones, stolen by my daughter, justice, whined the girl. She had the stones upon her and the ducats. So Shylock, like a madman, he keeps on shouting throughout the street about the stolen ducats. And who has stolen it? His daughter has stolen it. Not only that, she has stolen rich, valuable stones. So he wants that these things should be found and justice should be given to her, to him. Find the girl. So he wants that there should be a search for the girl and she should be brought back along with the ducats and the precious stones. So when he shouts in this way, what happens in the street? The small naughty boys, as it is the habit of small naughty boys to chase and tease the mad people. So Salario says, "Why, all the boys in Venice follow him, crying his stones, his daughter, and his ducats." So all the boys in the Venice, they followed him. They teased him the way he was shouting, "My ducats, my stones." They also repeat it after him, his stones, his daughter, and his ducats. So he is in a very wild mood. Salanio says, "Let good Antonio look he keeps his day, or he shall pay for this." So Salario and Salanio, being very close, good friends, dear friends of Antonio, they are worried about him. So they wished that Antonio should keep his day, means to say that Antonio must keep, that is, pay back the amount which he has kept or borrowed on that day and not break the conditions of the bond. Otherwise, he will have to suffer for this. And pay means he shall have to suffer for this. You know what the condition is? That if he fails to pay the amount, the penalty will be a pound of flesh, and there is hardly any chance of a person's survival when a pound of flesh is extracted from his body. So Antonio will have to pay dearly for if he breaks the condition of his bond. Salario. Mary well remembered. I reasoned with French yesterday, who told me in the narrow seas that part the man French and the English there miscarried, a vessel of our country richly fraught. I thought upon Antonio when he told me, and wished in silence that it were not his. So Salario says, by Virgin Mary, you have reminded me well. When Salanio says that he must keep his day, then Salario remembers something. So he says that the previous day Salario had a talk with a Frenchman, and this Frenchman told that in the English Channel, that means the narrow seas which part England and France, that is the English Channel. So in the English Channel, rich argosies, or the rich ships which had been laden with rich cargoes, had perished. That means ship carrying rich loads was found wrecked at the English Channel. So the moment Salario heard of it, he remembered Antonio. Why? Because Antonio was a rich businessman in Venice who had several argosies in several directions. So this thought suddenly came to his mind. Is this ship of Antonio's? But in silence he wished, "Oh God, please see that this ship does not belong to Antonio, because in recent times Antonio has been suffering quite a few losses." Solanio, you are best to tell Antonio what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him. So Solanio also is concerned. So he says, it is better you go and tell Antonio what you have heard from the French gentleman, but don't do it all of a sudden, because it might be a shock to him. Yes, you must have heard. Often we are told don't break a very happy or a very sad news all of a sudden, because many times unable to bear the happiness or sadness, who dies of a heart attack. Solario, a kinder gentleman treats not the earth, so you won't find a kinder gentleman walking on this earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. So this is the farewell scene of Antonio and Bassanio before Bassanio leaves for Belmont. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. So Bassanio is assuring him of his return. Bassanio knows that he is very sad. So what is he telling? He is telling, my friend, don't be worried. I will finish my business there as fast as I can, and I will come back soon. So what does Antonio says? He is a very good friend. He answered, do not so, slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very ripening of the time, and for the Jew's bond which he hath to me, let it not enter in your mind of love. Be merry, and employ your chiefest thought to courtship and such fair ostents of my love, as shall conveniently become you there and ever there, his eye being big with tears. Turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible, he urged Bassanio's hand, and so they parted. So Antonio is a very nice friend, and he knows that Bassanio is in love with mission, is in a love mission. So he says, don't try to come back as soon as possible. Do not try to spoil the business for my sake, Bassanio. Stay as much time as is required in order to attain your object. For the fulfillment of your object, stay that time, as much time as is needed. And regarding the bond, don't let it bother you, because you are in a mission of love. So don't let these things trouble you. So you should be happy, and don't get concerned or worried about the bond that has been signed to the Jew. Employ your chiefest thought to the courtship and such fair ostents of love as shall conveniently become you there. So be happy. Let your thoughts be directed towards your love, and also to make fair displays of love which will suit you there. And as he said this, and even there, his eyes being big with tears, turning his face, he put his hand behind him, and with affection wondrous sensible, he wrung Bassanio's hand, and so they parted. So he was saying all these, his eyes filled with tears, and he held the tears in his eyes. His eyes became big, means when you are desperately fighting to keep the tears in your eyes and not let the tears fall, you make your eyes big. This is what Antonio does. And what else does he do? He turns his face to the other side, turning his face so that Bassanio does not see the tears in his eyes, because it will dampen his happy spirits. He put his hand behind and offers his hand from behind, and in a very loving manner, affection, wondrous, sensible. He wrung Bassanio's hand, and so they parted. He presses Bassanio's hand in a gesture of farewell, and so they parted. This is how they parted. They said goodbye to each other. Solanio, I think he only loves the world for him. He means Antonio loves the world only because Bassanio is there. So Antonio is very fond of Bassanio. I pray thee, let's go and find him out and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight or other. So Salanio tells Salario that I request you that let's go there and find him out. Let us search him out and let us try to brighten up his sad spirit with some pleasant diversion. That is, let us do something to cheer him up and see that he gets rid of his sadness. Salario, do we so? So Salario also agrees and tells, let us do that. Let us do so. So this is a quite small scene. It only tells you that what has happened in the middle, that after the elopement of Jessica and Lorenzo, how has Sherlock reacted to it? So it is as if a filling gap. We are told how Sherlock has reacted to it, and another bad news is that it is given that it could be Antonio's ship that has been wrecked in the English Channel, and the two friends are quite worried. So this makes up prepared that something bad is going to happen in Antonio's business. So dear children, with these words I end my lesson. Watch this video till end. Do like, share with your friends so that it benefits them also. Hope this lesson will be beneficial for you in your study. Thank you.